What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Hainsey coming back for another video, and today we're here to review the previous trial game that has just happened between the Sydney Roosters and the Melbourne Storm. The Mighty Chooksters are off and running in 2023, and their trial is defeating the Melbourne Storm 32-24 in a pretty good trial game there at GHMBA Stadium in Geelong, or whatever you want to call it over there in Cardinia Park, but basically home of Geelong Cats. That's where they played. It was a great game of footy, a lot to get through. Definitely very impressive how trial game panned out. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn notifications on to see more videos like this one. Thank you so much for the support so far this season. We're currently at 641 subscribers after that previous live stream. Thank you guys for really appreciate you guys coming on and jumping onto the channel. Really appreciate you guys following me on TikTok and Instagram as well. It means a lot to you guys. Alright guys, enough said, let's get into this review. Come on! Yeah! So let's get into this review. So like I said before, the Roosters defeated the Melbourne Storm 32-24 in a really good game. Let's go through some key stats for the time being before we get into my personal review. So we'll go through some team stats if my phone wants to load. My phone and my computer have not been really responsive today, so bear with me, guys. Okay, so match summary. Here we go. That's what we needed for match summary. So we'll go through the try scores for both teams. We'll start with the Melbourne Storm. Wishart, Warbrick, S. Falogo, and Grant Anderson. For the Roosters, L. Zackerman, T. Morati, W. Fakamoti, Junior Parlo, Victor Radley, and Junior Polgar. Just going through this key stats here. Roosters 58% possession, Storm 42, completion rate 79% to 65%. Completed sets, Roosters 39, Storm 27, total sets 49-41. Attack 211 runs for 1,984 metres, 442 contact metres for the Roosters. For the Storm, 158 metres, 158 runs, 1,703 run metres, 431 post contacts, 6 line break, 5 tackle breaks, 46-22 to the Roosters. Kick return meters 253 to 188, and average lead played ball doesn't really matter about that. Tackles 283 to 394. Missed tackles, Storm 53, Roosters 22. Discipline, ruck infringements 2-1, doesn't really care about that. Don't really care about the ruck infringements. Penalties conceded 9-3, errors 14, 12, and most tackles for the Storm, Jordan Grant 36. For the Roosters, C.L. Wong 24. Most run meters, Junior Palgar for the Roosters 182. Salavuli Falugo 210 running meters. Most line breaks, Falugo 2. William Falazaki 1. So that's the little bit of the key stats there for that game. So here's my thoughts here. I've got it all on some notes here. My official thoughts that Falugo for the Melbourne Storm is destined for greatness. He played really well, good contact meters, scored a try. Yeah, it was basically everywhere for the Storm. Made 2 line breaks as well. Wishart, very impressive in the first half. Yes, he played really well. Scored the first try. Good lead-up support and really controlled the game. Really thought Jaden Nicarima didn't play all that bad in the second half as well. So yeah, very good. For the Roosters, I saw it out in the live. I said it in the live stream that Sissa Wong was the man to look out for. A lot of people have been saying that, and he did well. Had the most tackles for the Roosters and played really, really well. Also was really impressed with Jake Turpin and Sandon Smith, linked up well. So I think, yeah, definitely Jake Turpin, Sandon Smith, and Ethan King really linked up well this afternoon, that first half. Our juniors really played really good footy in the first half. Was really good to see. El Zackerman, I think he was a star as well. Scored a great try. I reckon he'll be stick around as well. Also here, a few notes from other content creators. Turpin looks like he's going to add some real value. 100%. Yeah, I think he's going to be a great depth signing. looks really comfortable in the half so far in this one. Yeah, he did. He looked in that first half. Looked really, really great. Definitely controlled the middle there with. I think it was the first try that got disallowed where we went straight from the hooker, went Turpin, Sandon Smith, Ethan James, then Ethan King, then beautiful cut out to the winger. Unfortunately, just couldn't get the put down right, put his foot in the touch. But from that point on, I was like, looking promising, these young fellas. And obviously, these guys will feature in the New South Wales Cup side this year, and definitely some great def signings. So, Jake Turpin, a really good def signing in the first half there, and really proved his value so far. And obviously, he's played 50 NRL games for the Broncos, I think. And he's also even captain the Broncos, so he's bringing really good, cool, calm collective him at the club, and he'll fit. As it seems, he'll fit straight into that Roosters culture there, and it just showed in that first half there as well. I think he come on in the second half, late 15 minutes as a hooker. So obviously there's a lot of changes in that side, and as you expect from a trial. But it was very promising to see how we started that. First half. So very good. I think half time was about 16-12 to the Roosters, and then I think we got in the half time. Then we saw the big boys in action. So I think what I can think of, it was Junior Paulo, Sam Walker, Egan Butcher, Fletcher. Also, we'll talk about the first half as well. Ben Thomas and Fletcher Baker and Terrell May, those three boys in the first half, ran through the middle. Sissa Wong as well. He was a little bit quiet because he was definitely a target, because I think a lot of people heard of what he's about, and I think they got a little bit, I think they tried to over defend on him. Played really well though, and obviously he was good in defence, so he definitely made some good tackles and all that. But Fletcher Baker and Ben Thomas, I'm glad that we kept those two boys. Obviously they were with the North Sydney Bears, the reserve grade team last year, but they've definitely part of the squad now. So Ben Thomas might play a handful of games this year, but I don't think he'll play many games this year, just with how good our squad is. Fletcher Baker will feature more, but those two will be impressive. Front row combination in the reserve grade team for the Sydney Roosters this year. Terrell May as well. He might feature in some games as well. He played really good. We saw his potential last year. He played really good. Coming to the second half, like I said, we had our main boys come on. Parlo, Sam Walker, the Cheese, Egan Butcher, and Victor Radley, and of course Drew Hutchison, the Fat Orbo, we like to call him, come on and played some minutes as well. Now, when I first thought, very notable straight away that the link up between Radley and the Cheese is going to be very, very scary this year. I can promise you that. They looked really well together. They combined well. Great serves out of dummy half. The Cheese was even getting meters out of dummy half as well, just running through the middle. Radley again, his passing game, his ball game through the middle. And all I can say is, though, we're in for a good year if those two link up like they do. And I know what are you guys going to be thinking about this second half? It was and the result, the Roosters beat the reserve grade Melbourne Storm with all their superstars. No, not all our superstars. Only 5 first grade players played in that second half. And like I said in the preview, this wasn't all about us winning the preseason challenge or going out and playing our full-strength team just to win $100,000. And right now we are top of the tree too. So we play Manly next week in the game next week, and potentially winning that might potentially win the 100K. So it'd be great if we win. But that wasn't the intentions here today. Our intentions was actually to get our combinations right. And in that half an hour, the two I was worried about was Brandon Smith. That was the one I was worried about. It's how is he going to go? And that's all the talk was about this season. It's how the Cheese is going to go. He's not saying he's not a hooker, all that kind of stuff. Rubbish. He's one of the top 5 hookers in this game, and today he proved it. Yes, it was against his former club. Yes, it was against a bunch of nobodies. But don't say that about. Don't really say that about the Melbourne Storm youngsters today. They're in a good system. They played some good footy. Basically, what we saw today is 2 of the best systems in the NRL going at it, and they're juniors, and there's a lot of future at the Melbourne Storm. That's why there's been a lot of people about the Melbourne Storm saying, they're gonna have a bad year. They lost superstars. Rubbish. from what I saw today from the Melbourne Storm, is that they're going to be fine this year. Their depth is good. We saw that today. The only concern about the Melbourne Storm, though, is Justin Olam has reportedly fractured his arm in the first half there, early on in that game. It's a big blow for the Melbourne Storm, normally between a 6 to 9 week injury there. So hopefully, Melbourne Storm fans, he's back very soon. But that's a big blow there. But apart from that, Melbourne Storm were good. As long as the game kept going forward, they got better as the game progressed in Melbourne Storm. So it was good to see for the Melbourne Storm fans. There was a lot of promise there from juniors. Same for the Roosters as well. But yeah, also a notable thing there. Junior Paulo's, or Paulo or Paulo. I don't know how that people pronounce it because you only got Junior Paulo, but Jackson Paulo. But there you got Junior Paulo, but Jackson Paulo. Just signed from the Rabbitohs. He was basically kicked out of the Rabbitohs because everyone hated him, wanted to death threat him, and call all the names under the sun about him, and that's what this club isn't about. I reckon. He's a club. He'll be at a club that actually love him and appreciate him. Unlike South Sydney, those scums from across Anzac Parade, where they basically had a bad game and just abused him and death threatened him, and all the names under the sun, they just rocked it at him. So, and we're not like that at that club. So, Jackson, if you're listening, and I really hope that you know that you are loved by all of our fans here. If you have a bad game, so what? We will support you. We won't criticise you at all. But yeah, it was a great try. He scored his first try. The traditional Harbour Bridge cutout ball from Sam Walker. I think Sam Walker was good too. Good game management. I said in the keynotes in the back end of the game there that he needed to just ace the last 5 minutes, and we did though. A little bit of tension in the last few minutes. So I just knew what the headline was going to be. The Melbourne Storm reserve grade team beat a full-strength Sydney Roosters side, and that wasn't the case. But in the end, a good intercept there to get the job done. So all in all, it was a great result for the Roosters. I think Robbo would be very happy with the performance. That's a good tackle. I'm watching the game right now. Raiders and Bulldogs game as the review's coming out. But no, I think like I said in the stream, I think both teams, both sets of fans, both sets of teams will be happy with the result. I think the only thing about Melbourne, though, is the worry about Justin Olam. But I think, and the other thing is their discipline was not as good as the Roosters. Like, the Roosters had 79% completion rate, which is very unlike us. 63 for the Storm, that's very unlike Melbourne. And discipline-wise, I think it was like 9-3 penalty count. So I think that's the only things that you take out of that game for the Melbourne Storm. Apart from that, they were good. The youngsters really showed a lot of potential. For the Roosters, it was a great performance there. A little bit of lapse in concentration and defence would be the only thing I would pick out on this game. There was a few times there where we were a little bit lazy and they went through and they scored a few tries. So, but all in all, very happy with the result. I'm very satisfied of how the trial panned out for the Roosters. It was a great hit out for our youngsters. It was a great hit out for our senior players, or not senior players, our new recruits, and basically a combination rise. And I can see why we played Radley and we also played Smith. Was that combination right? And they really combined well. And all I can say from that is look out, because if those two are on, we are very close to winning this premiership. That's for sure. We are in for a good year, and hopefully, if we stay injury fit, we'll be in for a good year. Alright guys, that is the end of this review. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Once again, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn notifications on to see more videos like this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream and the video for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch this. And I'll see you guys on next week sometime for the preview between us and Manly. Got a special guest coming on. Stay tuned for that. But until then, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this today. Enjoy the rest of your day. I know I certainly will. Until then, it's goodbye for now.